I think back to a time in my life when things were different. I thought a certain way, I lived in a bubble, and I felt like a prisoner in my own body. I go back to the days when I was an addict, a drug addict. It all started when I was 17 years old. My brother and I have always been very close. I had started to notice a difference between us. I had become very quiet and I knew something was going on. This wasn't like my brother to not be around me. He started to not care about work, care about me, or the sport he loved. At the time, my brother had been recovering from a dirt bike accident. My brother was so talented. He had an amazing life going for himself. He was a professional rider. He had a brand new GMC truck, a job of 10 years, a girlfriend that he had been with for years as high school sweethearts, and just like that, it was all gone. My brother wasn't himself anymore. I knew something was wrong. One summer day, my Nana asked me to go fold the laundry. What I didn't know was the next 5 minutes was going to haunt me for the rest of my life. As I'm folding laundry, I first see an orange cap. I think nothing of it. As I get to the bottom of the dryer, I pick out the last piece of clothing and I hear ting. I reach for it. It's a syringe. I drop to my knees and I cry. It all made sense. I now knew why my brother was acting so different. I write my brother a letter and I leave it in his truck at work for the next day. In the letter, I let him know that I knew what he was doing and what I found. I also said that I promised to tell no one. I won't tell mom. I won't tell dad. Just please get help and I love you. My brother was devastated that his little sister knew his secret, but he still couldn't stop. Fast forward to 3 months later. I'm trying to keep the secret in. I'm trying to cope with the pain, but it was too much. Then one day it happened. I made the biggest mistake of my life that still to this day makes absolutely no sense. Because of the pain of my brother using drugs and letting his life fall apart, I too decided to try drugs to cope with the pain. From that moment on, my whole life has changed. I rapidly went downhill. I became addicted to cocaine for 3.5 years, stealing, lying, doing whatever I had to do to get more. I ended up dropping out of high school my senior year, all because I wanted to get high. The following years, nothing changed. I got worse and worse. I moved from cocaine to pills. In 2010, I got pregnant with my beautiful son. Life seemed to be looking up. 10 weeks into my pregnancy, I quit everything cold turkey. My son's health was more important than getting high. For once, I thought I had beaten the devil. But 9 months later, when I gave birth to my son, I had many difficulties, resulting in sending me home with over 50 pills. The same pills I had stopped using 9 months earlier. I took every single pill correctly until the last six. That's all it took. I was back to being a prisoner in my own body. I quickly moved on to heroin, where I had found my love. I loved heroin more than any other drug I had ever tried before. Again, for years, I stole, I lied, I hurt my family on a daily basis. I did anything I had to do to get my fix. As years went on, my addiction was out of control more than ever. I was hearing of my friends dying from overdoses. I was making my mother physically sick over me, destroying the family. I had to start buying girls' clothes because my body was wasting away. I progressed to how I was using heroin. I was bouncing around from home to home. Life was hell. But something changed this past year. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I couldn't do it anymore. I didn't want to do it anymore. And the biggest reason was my son was getting older and I was afraid he would know that mommy was a junkie. I couldn't live with myself if my son knew what I was. I brought this precious, innocent human being into this world, and it wouldn't be fair to him to not give him a fair chance in this world. So on August 5th, 2018, I decided to grow up, get clean, and be the mother I know I should be. It's been 8 months now, and I'm the happiest I have ever been. I have a life, I have a place I can call home, I have a loving family that can trust me. I'm a college student now, working towards my future, and most importantly, I have a son that loves me and can rely on me now. My life is so different. And even though I wouldn't wish the last 13 years of my life on my worst enemy, a part of me is grateful. It makes me look at life a bit different than the average person who has never been an addict. It makes me cherish life and see how important things are. And because of the life I have now lived, I have a story to tell and a passion now to help others with drug addiction. I have learned to be proud of who I am. My name is Ayla Thompson, and I'm an addict. And when I'm in need of a reminder, I do live by the words, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. After reading this, I really hope that this gives you a little bit more insight of not only my story, but what it is like to be an addict. Um, and if you know somebody who is struggling or um, just in need of help, don't give up on them. Let them know you're there for them and let them know that when they are ready, you will be there. Thank you.